All right, so today we coming to you with another episode of Auto Glass Tech Talk, and we taking it all the way down under. We got the homie Ashley online. So what's good, Ashley? Let the people know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, g'day guys. Just over here in Perth, Western Australia, and managing two businesses, my own in Perth and also Novus franchise up north in Port Hedland, about 1,600 k's from home. So I've been in the industry for about 17, 18 years as a mechanic originally, and got into glass about 10 years ago. Started my own business around about 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, that's what's up.
Nice. So it's been all over the groups that recently took on this opportunity with Novus. What exactly are you doing for Novus over there?
Well, currently I am contracting the management of the Novus through my company. That may change shortly. I've actually been offered as of last week to buy out this business as well. So some pretty big opportunities happening.
Is it worth it?
Mate, I take it you've obviously never been to this location. Yeah, it's definitely worth it if we can make it happen. The thing is about this town that I'm currently in at the moment, it's far north Western Australia, and it's basically a town built on the desert between a couple of major mining companies. They practically own the whole town, so we're on the verge of a new boom, moving up and moving forwards, and this is basically where most of the money for Australia's whole economy comes from, essentially.
Wow. What you said? You said mines or oil fields?
Yeah, mine. Yeah, we've got both mining and oil and gas off the coast as well. So this particular town that I'm in, most of it's all iron ore, and there's a few mineral operations happening up here as well.
So you had an opportunity to purchase the location you're at?
Sorry, what was that, mate?
So you have an opportunity to purchase the location that you're at now?
Yeah. So I came up for 2 weeks originally. It was on a basis that I'll fly here for 2 weeks and head back home for 1 week. The first week I was off, actually, the owner of the franchise gave me a call and said that he's basically lost all the drive for the business. I essentially came up here to sort the business out. It was a bit of a mess, to be honest, when I got here. Just no organisation. So yeah, I've come up here with the idea to take over and clean up stuff. And as of last week, he rang me up and asked if I was serious about purchasing the business from him, and I think he'll probably likely retire. So
nice, awesome.
Well, wish you the best, man.
Yeah,
sounds like a great opportunity. I mean, with the whole city, birth of the city,
Yeah, that's right. Look, this place is it's a bit of a different kind. I don't know really anywhere over there that might be able to be compared to here. But as I say, it's a pretty shit location, to be honest. I didn't come here for the view. The town is full of red dirt. It's 43 degrees centigrade before lunchtime, and it's not even summer yet. And the town basically never sleeps. Everything's very industrial, and between the mine sites, they practically own the whole town. So it's not a great location, but as I say, this is essentially the place that drives the nation's finances, essentially.
I mean, that's got to be a little nicer, though. If you only have a few bigger companies that kind of run the area, it's not like you're working with 20 different companies to make some money, right? You're working just with a few main companies.
Yeah, that could be said. I mean, look, there's I've practically worked my way up now in Perth to be one of the largest independent businesses down there. Obviously, that's taken a bit of hard work and dedication. Up here, yes, you've got possibly a bit more ease in the sense that there's only 3 businesses in town, us as one of them. There's an O'Brien's or Safelite franchise here as well, and there's a local guy that's been here about 13 years or so. So it's pretty simple in that instance. But like I say, the actual location itself, it's not a place that you come for the fun of it.
Right.
It's a pretty shitty location, and obviously it means generally being away from my family for a few weeks at a time. It means a lot of hard work in having to manage staff 1,600 kilometres in another location. So it's a bit of hard work, but it can be done.
Family. You said your family. Do you have kids, wife? What's your whole family situation?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so I've got a missus. Well, I've got a partner. We not married yet, but we're getting married next year. And we've got a bit of a blended family. I've got a child from a previous relationship, as has she. So we've got an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old daughter, and a 3-year-old daughter. And they actually came up with me this time around rather than flying up. This time I decided to drive up here. So we drove up over a couple of days and brought the family up with me.
Real quick, just to put that in perspective to everyone. And now that you just say that you drove, I really got to let everyone know this. So 1,600 kilometers converts into 994 miles.
Shit, that's a long drive.
Miles. Driving 1,000 miles.
That's like me driving to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that it can be the equivalent of you guys driving a couple of states.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like going from Phoenix to San Francisco on a drive. So yeah, that's a long ass drive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 16
Yeah.
hours.
Wow. So Perth's a big city. They have a few million people, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got to be a shock then coming from a big metropolitan area out to the sticks, the countryside.
Big bonies, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I was lucky enough growing up that I spent a lot of time in the northwest. I actually lived about 6 hours north of here when I was 18 years old. I lived there for 5 years, so I'm pretty used to the humidity and the heat. And the northwest it's probably a bit of a shock for some people, but I don't mind it too much. The heat's not too bad as long as you're drinking, anywhere between 5 to 8 litres a day. You're pretty right.
So I got a question for you, Ashley. You stated when you went to the new location, right, they kind of lacked organization. So if a new person's getting into business, kind of like how you right now, you're new to this whole new area and starting an organization, what are some tips that you could give on getting stuff back in order or creating some organization?
Look, what I'd say is obviously your attitude, I think, comes first and foremost. I'm a pretty confident person.
Right.
I did have my doubts on how I was going to make two businesses essentially work together in such a vast distance apart. So I think the attitude has got to be the first and foremost. A lot of people ask me how I'm going to do it. And I basically live to an extent by the quote from Richard Branson that says, if you're offered a good opportunity and you don't know how to do it, jump in and learn it as you go.
That's right.
So that's the first thing. Second thing is to make things a little bit more difficult. When I first flew in here 3 weeks ago now, the owner of the business wasn't even here. He had travelled down to Perth for a big job on a tugboat. So essentially his wife picked me up from the airport. I walked in here and she doesn't know much about the business, so I basically walked in blind with no real training on how he runs his particular business.
Right.
So the next thing that I had to do was obviously do a bit of a clean up, and there was no systems in place. His system is basically in his head. Someone will ring him. He knows what jobs he's got to try and fit in for the day.
Right.
It just doesn't work. You've got to have some kind of basic system, and I mean, I set up a few basic processes here.
Right.
Just how we printing those jobs off via emails or filling out booking sheets when customers call in, putting them into an action pile, which essentially means that obviously we have to action that particular job. The problem here is we don't have any suppliers here. So all our glass has to come from Perth. We've got to order it. If we don't have it here in stock, we've got to order it. and it takes at least 24 hours to 48 hours to get something up here.
Right.
So the first thing is to obviously action the job. From there, we follow up as soon as that glass comes in with our trucking company. Then we go through, obviously organise which glass we've got, and then arrange with the customer to book that job in. So first and foremost, I'd say is attitude, and secondly, put some processes in place. They don't have to be, they don't have to be digital. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. But if you've got something to follow, even a loose plan, then it's easy to show anyone else.
Right.
If someone came in here now, I can sit them down and show them exactly what my process is, and at least they've got some idea of what they're going to do tomorrow.
Right. Now that makes sense, man. Attitude is everything. If you go into it with the wrong attitude, that you're not gonna succeed. And you're right. For a lot of people that's doing their own thing, don't just know it mentally in your head. Like write it down, put that info somewhere. It's kind of like a good recipe. You know what I mean? Like write them ingredients down. Like you might have been making that shit forever, but like when you pass that on to somebody else, they don't know. So write it down and document it, and like you say, learn as you go.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
So, what kind of clientele are you doing there in this location? Is it mostly just machinery and trucks and or utes?
Yeah, look, being a mining town and being part of a large nationwide franchise, essentially we do mostly mining vehicles. So you're looking at, I don't know what you guys would call it over there, but I imagine over here is the VDJ 79 Land Cruisers.
Okay.
So we buy crates and crates of those. Also the brand new model 2015 onwards Hiluxes. Again, we get a lot of those in. It's interesting to say actually that in Perth, being such a major place, we don't do so much ADAS. However, because the mining companies, I guess, have got the money and always like to upgrade their vehicles, make sure their staff are comfortable, there's a lot of vehicles up here. Even though the town is so backwards and industrial, there's a lot of ADAS vehicles up here. So we do a fair bit of that, mostly on the Hiluxes, the Toyota commuter buses as well, all 2019, 2020 onwards. As well as that, we do quite a bit of insurance work. And also up here, there's a large amount of Indigenous residents as well. So we go out to communities quite a bit and do a lot of work for the Indigenous as well up here.
Cool.
Hey, Chris, real quick, Google the Hilux, or how do you spell that, Ashley?
I looked Hilux. It's pretty much the Toyota, it's like the better version of the Toyota that we never got. Like the Tacoma. It's like their Tacoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But better.
Oh, okay. Upgraded
But
to
better.
Yeah.
So, work-wise, do you work out of your mobile techs? Do they work out of vans, out of utes, as you guys call them, or how are you guys set up?
Car trucks.
Yeah, generally, I prefer the comfort of utes myself. Back in Perth, I've only got utes. However, there is a few guys as well cruising around. Obviously, Lundy and stuff like that cruising around in their nice little vans. Up here, the only thing we've got here is a couple of utes ourselves, and some of those, if we want to go to some of the mine sites, they have to be full mine spec as well. So it has to have reverse beepers, flashing orange beacons, have to have two-way radios, roll bars, the whole works as well, and that allows us to get on site to some of these mine sites.
Do you guys cut on? You cut flat glass on site?
We do. Yep. Yeah, we do. Yeah, there's quite a few items of machinery up here as well. Essentially, this town, like I was trying to describe before, it's so hard to describe. I think really to get a grasp of it, you have to kind of come here. But this is the kind of town where, as I say, everything's industrialised. The town doesn't sleep. There's trillions of dollars going in and out of this place. And you see some of the longest trains in Australia, 3 kilometres plus long, carting iron ore and shipping them out. I think one of the busiest shipping ports in the world as well.
Mm.
So it's a unique place.
One of the largest shipping ports in the world.
I think so. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And the ships are coming in quite close too. If you head out to the port there, you stand on the jetty and do a bit of fishing. The ships are pretty close. You could almost throw a rock and hit the side of them. Kind of deal. It's pretty busy.
All right, so let me ask you this, man. So you doing right now? You're going between two companies, and you got one that's working well, and you're building another one up, right? So your life can get consumed in all work. So what do you do to like balance it out with your personal life, and like do you have hobbies or what do you do in the downtime?
Yeah, look, pretty much my family. My family's everything. Um, it is pretty full on. Even running one business itself, if you're putting in a lot of effort to build that business, it can be pretty straining as well. I try and get out as much as I can with my family.
Okay.
Do a spot of fishing,
Okay.
do a bit of off-roading. Yeah, I'm into my motorsport. Yeah, so pretty much my life outside of work revolves around my family.
Okay. So when you say fishing, is that like deep sea fishing or like lakes, or what kind of fish do you catch?
I don't really have a boat just yet,
Okay.
but so deep sea is a bit off the not for me at the moment. But yeah, pretty much just heading out to the jetty, mate. Heading out to the port, do a spot of fishing out there as well.
Okay.
So a bit of camping as well. I mean, on the way up here, we stopped twice, mainly for the family's sake, but we left a bit early and stopped twice on the way up. One in a place called Shark Bay, and another one in a place called Coral Bay.
Okay.
And yeah, just enjoy the scenery. We lived out of a tent for those 2 nights that we stopped. So just anything being out in the bush, mate.
Okay.
So
nice. You said
sounds like
motorsports. Are you motorcycle? Are you a side-by-side guy? Like, what's your preference?
look, I'm the sort of person that I'm kind of a fence sitter, I guess you'd say. So I sponsor one of our major V8 supercars here. But yeah, I like anything with wheels, anything that can go fast. Yeah, I'm not really on one side or the other. I own some motorbikes, and I also own some cars as well. I think I've got about 9 cars now. So
Oh wow,
What do you got?
amongst auto glass guys lately. Everyone wants to be a race car driver.
yeah, I was probably born that way, to be honest. My grandparents used to race. Then that filtered through to our family as well. We used to race growing up as children as well. So yeah, we were kind of born with motor racing in the blood.
Awesome. So out of your 9 cars, what's number 1? There's that number 1 that's just like that go-to every time.
Probably my best would be my Mark 1 Golf GTI.
Oh, nice.
What'd you say, Mark 1?
Yeah, Mark 1 Golf GTI.
What year? What year you got?
1978, I think, from memory.
Ooh, okay. Kind of I got a Mark 1. What is it? Cabrio.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's 87 though, so it's like on the verge of like Mark 2, but.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Volkswagen, baby.
Look, I brought that car because I actually had that car since the first year of my mechanic training, and the reason I brought it was because it was different. There's a lot of guys here that have a big following for the Jap cars like the Nissan Skylines and the Silvias and things like that. There's also a lot of guys that like the Commodores or the V8s and things like that. I've pretty much had all that, but I wanted something different. I want to stand out and be different, And I guess a few guys kind of took the piss out of me a bit when I first got it because they're calling it Nana's car, but at the end of the day, I had the last laugh because they're quite rare over here, and I ended up with a bargain. I got it for quite significantly cheaper than what it was, and part of that was just me not understanding what it was when I brought it either.
Right.
So that was a lucky one.
Yeah.
My dog is dying to get in this picture, so you won't leave me alone.
That's cool.
Sorry.
Nah, it's all good. Well, yeah, Ashley, well, we appreciate you for your time, for the insight and the advice, actually helping people. That's a challenge to everybody in the group, is to check your attitude today, or in the next coming days. Check your attitude. Make sure you got the right energy, because energy and attitude is everything. And check your process to make sure you got stuff in place to, if something happened to you, can someone else like come in and figure it out, or if not, set something up. So good tips and good insight to motivate others to actually get on the right track.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ashley. I wish you the best of luck, man.
Yeah, no worries, guys.
Good.
I'll be sure to put up some photos of this place on the page for you.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Well, everybody take care until next time, man.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.